Here is an opportunity for customers to save some money on Cameo 4 cutting mats. The standard Cameo 4 cutting mat costs 229 Rand, whereas the Cameo 4 Pro cutting mat that is 24 by 24 inch is 399 Rand. We have successfully cut this 24-inch mat into 4 Cameo 4 cutting mats, which means each mat costs you just 100 Rand, which is a massive saving. You just need to be aware of the following. The standard Cameo mats have borders around the mat that are glue-free. This is what the wheels run on. By cutting the Cameo Pro mat, one wheel will run on the glue area, which in our tests had no effect on the cutting. If anything, it made the mat much less prone to slippage, especially on machines where the wheels were worn. The second thing you need to be aware of is the print and cut function that needs to be calibrated for the piece of mat you are using. As long as you line up your material on the line 1.1 centimeters from the left-hand side of the mat, there is no issue. There is a line on each mat, 1.1 centimeters from the side. Then thirdly, because the mat is cut, the numbers on the mat will not make sense, but for such a massive saving, so what? The cutting area on each mat is still 12 by 12 inches, the same as the standard Cameo mat. I will show you now in detail how to align your material on each of the 4 pieces of cutting mats, so that you will know exactly what to do when you buy your mat. I will do a print and cut with them. We will start with the mat on the left-hand top corner. Here is a close-up photo of the mat. This mat has the border with no glue on the left-hand side and top area of the mat, but on the right, the Cameo wheel will run on the sticky part of the mat. To line up your material on this mat, you will line it up with the line 1.1 centimeters from the left-hand side of the mat, and then place it about 5 millimeters above the top line of the mat. It's important that the material is lined up straight. I will now show you how to load the mat correctly in the Cameo machine. You will still line it up with the gray guideline on the left-hand side of the machine. But on the right, you will line the mat up with the wheel line. In other words, you will line it up with the right-hand side edge of the wheel. If you don't line it up this way, the mat will go skew in the machine. I will now press the load button. Remember that you will still set your artwork as usual in Silhouette Studio, regardless of what part of the 24-inch mat you use. Let's see how it cuts. I am going to fast forward the cutting scene in this video so that we can get to the results. It did cut perfectly fine. For the rest of the mats, I will just show you how to line up your material on each mat. I will not be doing the physical cutting on each individual mat in this video. This is just to keep the video as short as possible. I will now use the mat on the top right-hand side. Again, you will line up your material to the line closest to 1.1 centimeters from the left-hand side of the mat, and then place it about 5 millimeters above the top line of the mat. Line the mat up with the gray guideline on the left, and make sure the mat lines up with the edge line of the wheel. Now, for the bottom 2 mats, there will be a slight change. So I will start with the bottom left-hand side mat. Here is a close-up photo of the mat. You will see that the left-hand side of the mat has the edge with no glue. And the bottom area has the big loading area, also without glue. So we will need to turn the mat upside down when we place the material on the mat. The numbers will now be upside down. I will now line up my material to the line closest to 1.1 centimeters from the left-hand side of the mat, and then place it about 5 millimeters above the top line of the mat. For the last mat, here is a close-up photo of the mat. I will also turn this mat upside down. Then line up the material to the line closest to 1.1 centimeters from the left-hand side of the mat, and then place it about 5 millimeters above the top line of the mat. I hope that this video was very helpful. Thanks for watching.